A ceremony led by Father Abbot at St. Mare Abel is welcoming all the initiates to the Belgican church. The Father Abbot is surrounded by the 7 abbots and abbesses, the front row filled with masters and sovereign sisters. Further back are the Immaculates, and behind them the initiates, new to the church. They sit patiently waiting for the name to be called, so that they may take the oath. Their ceremony is abruptly interrupted to the sounds of the abbey's door swinging wide open. Light from the morning sun outlines a figure standing in the doorway. Everything seems to stop as everyone's gaze turns its way. The sound of the staff hitting the abbey's marble floor echoes off its walls as the figure walks down the aisle. As the figure comes into view, it is seen it is a man of venerable age. His head bald, a black goatee on his face, a white stripe running down it. He is adorned in black robes, a staff with a multicolored gem faceted atop it, mostly for support it seems. His approach not slowed by his apparent age, he makes his way towards the Father Abbot. The abbots and abbesses close in front of the Father Abbot, blocking the old man's approach. "What is the meaning of this?" the Father Abbot asks. The man speaks. "I am Saint Anvoy de la Throe." "I have not heard of a Saint Anvoy de la Throe. What claim do you have to the sainthood of the Belgican Church?" Father Abbot asks. "This claim." The old man ripped a large book out from under his robes, tossing it to the Father Abbot. "It's a book written by the followers and by Abel himself. My sacred duty is to protect this book and its writings. For many centuries I have labored this task." A curious expression crossed the Father Abbot's face. A book penned by Abel and his followers? He flipped through the pages, reading, gazing upon the text. Amazing. After all these centuries, why surface this now? The old man stares the Father Abbot in the eyes. "An island a ways off the coast eastward of here rose up out of the sea. I could sense its power. I could hear the earth shift as it broke water level. I felt a disturbance enter the land once again." The Father Abbot raises an eyebrow, eyeballing the man suspiciously. "And how do we know this book is not a fake? How do we know you're not a fraud?" "If you cannot rest your faith in me, in my words, let me show you, that I may convince your mind." He walks towards the doorway, the Father Abbot along with the abbots and abbesses following. "Behold!" At that moment the old man thrusts his staff toward the sky, its gem growing brightly. The sky, clouded and stormed, turned from night to day. Seasons changed before their eyes, and then a rainbow set across the skyline outward to the sea. They all stood frozen, and as if struck with a revelation. The old man brought his staff down as the gem went dim again. "Where does your faith fly now?" What are these disturbances?" Father Abbot asked. The old man looked up grimly. "Creatures are acting outside of their natural bounds. Animals attack unprovoked. Goblins get close to human settlements. The orcs have even poured out from the wildlands and seem to be getting dangerously close to human settlement." "Then what do you propose we do?" asked the Father Abbot. "Send the monks to each of the towns guarding and protecting its citizens. Then take your best initiates and have them investigate the root of this trouble," explains the old man. "I will volunteer my best abbots then. They shall go on and see what is happening in the lands," Father Abbot concedes. "Good. I shall have gifts for each of them, to aid them on their journey," the old man states. He hands the gifts out to each of the initiates. "Go, explore the surrounding area. See what you can find out. May the one true God bless you and light your way."
Hi everyone, my name is Dave Gregoire, aka Slit518, and today we're going to be joined by D-Cube Gaming with Pat,
Marcus,
and Sean.
and also my fellow friends here.
Sean.
and Ghost from Skull Gaming.
Alright, well, today we're bringing to you Demonwars, a game made by Bryan, Bob, and Geno Salvatore. Alright, well, let's dig in. So, you've all seen the intro, correct?
Yes.
One-handed clap.
Right.
Yes, we've seen the intro.
Now, I didn't have time to print one, but luckily there's a map here. Remember how I said a hallway Delathrow handed you a map?
Yes.
Yeah, this is pretty much the map.
I love how it says the
now-
lands of Corona.
Exactly.
By the way.
Now, he also gave you each an item. The first item that everyone notices is a hat. From the hat, we also have a necklace. After the necklace, we have a set of bracers. After the bracers, a belt. And after the belt, a set of boots. Now, please don't fight amongst them, or fight amongst them, I really don't care. But they're all something that he thinks that each one of you should at least take on your journey.
He just throws them in the middle.
Yeah.
Fight for them.
He tosses them backs away.
No, he doesn't really throw them in the middle and say fight. They're more gifts, from the Saint Aholway Delafro.
Gotcha. I'm just
So-
picturing.
All right.
And he said they will help you.
I'm just picturing
We
both
should
Sean's
probably,
like
we
this.
should probably
and then it's
note
like
that
white.
each of these items give us an increase in our attributes.
Well, yes.
And any
which is why
increase
Yeah.
will be done with a white poker chip.
Okay. All right. Well, the hat
Okay.
is kind of a jack of all trade thing. It's one focus, one power, one skill.
By the way,
Skill?
I did forget to mention, we're using one of Bob's house rules here.
Okay.
We're using poker chips.
Oh.
Red for health. As you can see, every player on the table has red health tokens.
I can take the boots.
We're going to use blue
Go for it.
for focus. These are going to be, the magic, as several people have suggested.
Yep.
Except for the Zelda fans who like green.
Yes.
I took the boots.
Green is going to be for balance, or stamina, as I kind of associated it with. And anything that falls over, like if you have a temporary or buff, is going to be white.
Okay.
The necklace is very tanky. The hat is general. What did it mean by +1 skill on the hat? Or that's supposed
That
to be
means
+1
you can
balance?
add one more skill
Oh,
to
it
your
actually
your
means a skill
character.
rank?
Yes, one skill
Okay.
rank.
I will take the necklace unless anyone has
An objection.
What does the necklace do, though?
It makes me look very pretty.
Okay, well, thank you.
Like a pretty
And also, like pretty princess. Yes. It also gives me +1 HP.
I think I have an
and
idea
+1
of
armor
a couple of
points.
items Sean's looking at, as they're both spread out.
Now, are these magic items?
Sure, we can say they're magical. They came from a freaking saint.
Well,
A freaking
you don't
saint
have
came
equipment. It's just other equipment.
Wow. The
Does the
bracers are
hat
amazing.
match my wardrobe?
Pat,
That's why I'm
whatever you grab from the saint automatically matches your wardrobe. So you're brown.
So it'll put me
And the hat matches your brown.
Holy shit, go for it.
So I'll take the bracers
Be a
then,
beast.
and I'm gonna go straight DPS, I guess.
Wait, hold on. Is this the one where the die grade the weapons up?
Yeah.
Don't you already have that?
Yes, I do.
So they're went from D6 to D8, and now they're D10.
Yes.
So you're just boom.
Yep. I'm gonna
Okay.
take the hat.
Pure damage.
All right.
I say
Alright.
Sean here is in charge of all our fights. We all just
You're the defense.
Yeah.
Why
so
would
what
he be in charge?
So what happens is that first, if someone's throwing a punch at him, I rush in and take a football bump, and then he finishes him off. All right.
So basically, has his legs wrapped around your back, and he punches while you dodge and stick your chest out in the way.
It's the perfect strategy.
I need another green.
All right. No. White is for temporary. Anything that brings you over maximum is white.
Okay, so
Oh,
So you need a white.
oh, okay.
And just throw it on top of whatever
Focus.
these
Yeah.
powers.
See? Focus is gonna be blue. Think of it as mana.
Also, I take the white and I can add that to my health.
See?
Now it said one
What is
plus
power?
one armor
What is power?
point. Does that go into defense?
No. Armor points are on the back of the character sheet.
Okay, let me just.
And what they do is think of
Damage reduction.
yeah, I didn't want to reference it, but think of damage reduction from D&D. And you basically take one less damage every time one's applied to you.
Power as in magic power?
Correct. So, like, let's say his magic damage is 1d6 plus 1. He
Yeah,
now does
yeah.
1d6 plus 2.
And I've got the belt, which gives me 5 more defense
So,
and 5 bonus to hitting.
added-
It allows you to keep your pants on.
Right here is the map that the Saint has handed you.
Okay.
This is obviously the lands of Hans de Bear right here. We are at Mare Abel, so we're actually going to be right here on the map.
We're on the
Saint Mare
coast.
Abel.
It's so great.
Correct. So let me show that to the camera real quick so they can have a general idea of where we are. We're going to be right here starting out. Can you get that?
They like us, guys. It's okay that we're showing off their.
You know what you could also
That's actually, if you also paid attention to the intro video, that's the head abbey throughout the land here. That's like the major one, I guess. That is the abbey to end all abbeys.
So we got our items.
Yes.
The rough idea going on is that the.
In a good way.
Well, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I see.
The Father Abbot speaks to you all, too. He says, stop at Anvoy, just 2 days west of here. See if you can find any clues as to what is happening.
Where?
And Father
Anvoy,
Abbot,
right
of course, is the head of
Right
all
there.
the Abelican Church.
And where's Anvoy?
Right here.
No, where are we?
Where's Anvoy?
We're
We're
here.
here,
and
there's
we're
there.
here.
The 2-day trip.
Yeah, 2 days west.
Okay.
Wow, we can cross that map
Northwest.
in a couple weeks.
He says to you,
Could be for
by the way, gather any of your supplies and take the caravan that we have supplied. Because, we just randomly have them out for
Supplied? You mean
supplies. Sorry. We randomly have them to supply to you. So you can head, yeah.
Not Nazis!
Nazis!
Sorry.
Surprisingly, these people seem awfully nice and giving us a lot of stuff. I mean,
Okay, Pat, do you understand what your character is?
a monk.
You're a monk. These are your superiors. This is like, the church that you you work for. Well, not work, but you try to spread the word, of Saint Isabel.
Yeah.
You're a monk and a disciple of that church.
Have you found Jesus?
If your work had
Not
to
quite.
send you to go to
Yes.
a job somewhere, they wouldn't make you.
Actually, yes, kind of. You're almost like a Jehovah's Witness that
Or
punches
at least
people in
they
the face
pay
and
for it,
doesn't
you
hand
have
out
to do your
pamphlets.
own.
Yeah.
That's an interesting take on that.
The travel takes you roughly 2 days. You arrive at what is an Anvoy? Some point midday. On the second day, subtract 2 rations from your inventory.
I have another question. I don't know if it's important or not.
Very well, maybe.
How well does this particular group of people know each other?
That is a good point. You guys are initiates from all over. Why don't you introduce yourselves on this journey?
So I'm Initiate Lucas, and I can kind of do a little bit of everything because I'm cool, but magic is really cool. So.
Salutations, fellow travelers and initiates. My name is Griffin. I hail from the home abbey of St. Balfour, and I am very pleased to be on this journey with you all.
He seems nice.
I also can take a punch. I don't know why I felt like telling you all that, but
He's tough.
I'm implying that I'm the least sheep.
Take a punch. I'm implying that all these bruises upon my body imply that who do you think your training dummy is every day? They just put me in a potato sack and hang me from a tree, and you guys just slug at me.
My character runs up to him, punches him in the gut.
And he takes it, and nothing happens.
Take it and I bow to you.
Hi, Griffin.
Hi Lucas. Stay close to me.
I'm so bad with names.
I think your name's fine.
Oh no, I'm bad with remembering other people's names.
Yep. Just
think
call
of
them by
me
what
as a
they do.
giant
Meat shield, here. Jack of all trades, there.
Greetings, fellow initiates. I am Corbin, and I come from the home abbey of St. Hans. And I'm pretty much a support character, so I'll be supporting you.
I'm just
And
trying
if
to
you
imagine-
need any therapy with the mind, I can't do that for you. You're on your own. But I'll be supporting, cheering you on like a cheerleader.
I'm just trying to picture these conversations in real life. By the way, guys, I'm a support character. Everyone's looking like, so what are you, like a jester? Like, you're a character? You're
I build motivation.
So, wait, what do you do? You support us, okay.
Oh,
If
you
I'm
But you're a
sad.
character.
Yeah,
Here's what I mean by character.
You can do it. You can punch that tank.
At some point he runs
You
behind
can
your back,
possibly
so
hurt him.
There, you'll be alright.
And then he tells him, and while you're not listening, and you can take it. You can take it all day.
And Jack of all trades is nice to be Jack of all trades.
Woohoo! Alright, excellent.
All of a sudden, one of the hooded people removes her hood to reveal that she is a woman, and she says, "My name is Lexi."
I want you to do it in character.
Okay. Hello, my name is Lexi.
Now describe what you do, Lexi.
I can't do that voice forever. It's gonna ruin my voice.
How tall you are?
She's shorter than you. She's a
I don't
woman.
think there is height and...
Well, how high
Listen,
are you?
hold on.
He's deciding that
Game
he's a
of
strong
Thrones, there was that blonde lady, she was really tall.
Yeah.
And she's the exception and passes
Lexi is like a young, like.
What if I had midget? What if I'm like a midget and you don't know?
Well, when the, I read.
What if I would go on my knees to fight?
No,
you
because
know?
they're
Who wants to do last one?
because we're all human. Lexi is like a
Okay, I'll
young,
take
like
it.
teenage, like in her young 20s.
So why does it matter how old Lexi is? Why don't you say what you do?
She
She's 5'7". Her bust is no one cares. Seriously.
and she's she's worked hard in these different areas, and that's where she became a monk.
There's only one left to introduce themselves, so...
Alright, so it's you obviously would have seen him sitting there quiet. He's wearing actually tattered robes that look like they're old, decrepit, and haven't much been used, or they've been used a lot.
Oh, and Lexi's robes are stylish.
His robes are
Probably clean.
His
too,
robes
right?
are dirty and tattered.
Hell
Like most of the clothing that you see on him. He keeps the hood
Takes his
down.
power seriously.
He bows. Says his name is Anthelios. And he's happy to be traveling with you all.
Excellent. And then bam, the one you didn't expect out of nowhere. He's like, yo man, I rolled awesome.
Yo, man.
He's like, you gotta see my agility endurance, perfect. He's not really joining. For anyone who didn't know, this is the sample character.
I'm just gonna write down everyone's names in the
Amazing.
corner so I know
Right
what
there.
their names are.
Crazy.
That is from the video you recorded, right?
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
So if you need an example of character creation, because you're all like, how does this game work? There's a video for that.
Maybe if I want to get to it.
Gentlemen and me lady, I believe it'll take us at least 2 days as we are talking to each other about our livelihoods. Yes.
I've already started walking.
You're walking while they're taking the freaking caravan, like pulled by oxen.
Stick it to the player.
Oh,
So,
good.
Lucas!
She's gonna start screaming my name for no reason.
arriving in Anvoy reveals a small port town with a ferry.
A ferry, like a magical ferry, or
No, like
No,
the boat.
ferry.
It gets us across.
Yeah, like to get you across
the river.
If you look right here, where Anvoy is,
Uh-huh.
right, there's probably a little port there. It might lead to maybe this town, maybe
Down
to
there.
Ursula, but I doubt it. You
No,
know?
'cause if it goes
Ursula. Is
down
that
the
like
river,
the chick
Exactly.
from Little Mermaid?
No, oh, sorry, Ursula.
Oh, Ursula.
I think it wasn't Ursula. I'm sorry. So you notice that
I want to live.
people are going by their everyday tasks. There are a few houses set up around town. There's probably one small central place for worship, as well as maybe a small like market area or general goods shop. And then of course the main draw to this town is their ferry business, where they port people back and forth. And you're assuming that, well, you know, since you have the map, that there's a much larger city called Maris on the other side here.
That makes sense.
Alright, so you messed with that one for no reason. I'm sorry. I am sorry.
Alright, so
yeah.
but yeah, so they told to start here, and I don't know. Is any of us good at chatting with people?
Well, what chatting skills do you have?
I mean, there's pretty much
You
just
have-
diplomacy.
I'm horrible at
right?
diplomacy.
I have diplomacy.
Pat,
Me too.
so far maybe you and Marcus.
I have.
I got 21
I missed that.
diplomacy.
People love.
Did you
talking
take it as
to
a skill?
Lexi.
Yes.
You would have
If
to
you took it
get
as a skill,
points.
basically raise your hand or try.
Raise your hand or try.
No, I mean like just
Raise
roll,
your
you know what I
hand
mean?
Or try.
So, my good people, has anyone heard of any strange disturbances out at sea recently? I would be very, blah blah blah. Tell me what you know.
Alright, so take that 32 you rolled.
And add my 24 to it to get a result of 56. I do math well.
Alright. Anyone else want to try hand at diplomacy, or should we just let Marcus get this?
I only
Please
get
do
a
better
plus
than me, guys.
2 to diplomacy, but I will
Yeah.
try if everyone else fails.
No, I'm just letting the people that have points in it take priority first.
Okay, well, how do
Wait,
I
what
how
time
do
am I
I
rolling?
equate a 21?
Oh, okay.
So what you do is you're going to roll your D100, Pat. This is your percentile. This is going to be
definitely
your
try
10s,
it.
and this is going to be your
It's
one spot.
tripping. Hey, you could easily. You have a 54% chance to time you beat me,
I'm gonna.
right?
That's
I
good
messed that up.
math. Lexi's gonna talk.
You have 46%.
Just roll.
Lexi, as a
That's
girl,
not-
knows
that's
that she
still
can,
46%.
talk with the other women, and they're gonna tell her everything.
What did you get? So you're basically. Oh, you got a 98! Oh my god! Look at this! Does anyone else want to try? No? Because hold on, just add to
No,
too.
that's one of the most sexist things I've ever heard, but it worked out.
So 99. 119 he got!
No, that's right.
Oh,
That is
they-
awesome.
They told you everything and
All right,
more.
Dude, I basically talked to the ladies in town, and they just told me
So-
all the gossip.
The pizza man's here, by the way.
I'm now back in action. Well, let me take my seat and get this underway.
Why am I eating pizza on a white shirt? I'm down.
At least you took your
Be
dress
it for
shirt off.
tomorrow?
Yeah, no,
At least you took your dress shirt off.
piled in the corner, but at least it won't get stained.
Alright. So, we got to the point where you rolled 119, and nobody wants to try to contest with that.
I don't think anybody else can.
She
I rolled
basically
30. Well,
she
56.
basically got all the gossip from the ladies
All right.
in town.
So this is what happens.
Look at her purse.
Lexi, you walk up to a group of females. You just seem to know innately where the gossipers hang out. You just don't know how you know this, but it's in your mind. So you walk up, right, and you start just chatting. You're like, well, what would Lexi say?
Lexi decides to join a group of ladies that are in the area already talking about gossip, and she just kind of listens in, jumps in into a few of the conversations, kind of leads the role.
On your way up, actually, you do hear them talking about strange things happening, like throughout the countryside. Not just, like nothing quite near where you know, their town is, but further away in other areas. Like it's kind of spreading like a plague or something. And then as you get closer, they seem to take notice to you. And they say they haven't,
Good job there.
they haven't seen, like, you know, you before, and they ask you, actually, like, you know, where you're from, and introduce themselves.
I say I'm with a group of travelers. You know, we've been on this quest, and
We're questing.
everything else is classified.
This person has 119.
What? Maybe go to
Should I take over for talking for Lexi?
Not so much.
Alright, so, Lexi,
Still worked.
divulges that she works for the, that she's initiated the Abelican Church, and she's investigating the, disturbances recently. And she overheard some of the conversation, not on purpose, but as she happened to be walking by. And she does have her interest piqued, because they have mentioned something of, you know, some ill things happening recently in the lands. So they do tell you that they have heard stories of goblins seem to be coming forth from the timberlands northward, you know, from here.
She asks them anything that happened recently that could have caused or been related to this scenario.
They honestly say they don't know much. They literally just hear stories about goblins coming closer to human settlements. And it's definitely disturbing the local folk.
Maybe if somebody cooked those goblins a nice meal, they'd calm down.
That is very possible. They could just be very hungry. And they might just need your, you know...
Expertise. Expertise.
No, I don't want to think of that. I want to think of, like, your culinary skills. There we go.
Well, they might just eat me. I don't know.
Marcus, you hear a farmer just mention some troubles about some rustlings northward, possibly some goblin sightings, and the fact that some of the locals up north are fearing that the goblins may come too close in their lands. And you've known, you all know, as monks yourselves, by the way, that like a sign of goblins is always a sign of trouble, because goblins tend to, you know, they're mischievous. You're not sure why they're mischievous. Maybe it's because humans tend to, like, you know, always, like, disregard them and see them as lesser beings, or maybe that's just their nature. You're not quite
They're
sure.
just misunderstood.
Maybe. But for your diplomacy checks, you gain 25 experience, Pat, and you'll gain 12.
Hold on, let me try too.
It's too late.
Hey Dave, what would the check be like for eavesdropping?
That's a good question. Let me take a look at the skills here.
Alertness. Stealth.
I was thinking either stealth or alertness. That's why I asked.
Or both if you want to eavesdrop without being seen.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
Yeah, eavesdrop, but I want them to know I'm there.
Well, the whole point of eavesdrop, isn't it, like, obviously listening in and not being seen? Isn't that just what eavesdropping means?
Well, but it doesn't necessarily mean not being seen. It just means
Not being noticed.
You can be in a crowded area. They'll see you, but they don't know you're listening.
But it's still stealthy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're still trying not to be noticed, is the point.
So are you trying to eavesdrop?
Possibly.
Okay. Roll. So you basically, who did you follow?
Aside from where these two were talking, is there any other large groups of people that look like they're kind of conversing together as a group, not really browsing around at anything?
Roll an alertness check to see if you spot a group that you are interested in scouting out to see what they're talking about.
I didn't even see that.
40.
Plus 15.
Alright, so 55. Alright, you seem to happen upon a group that does seem interesting to, you know, interesting to you.
Okay.
Tone tab. So now you're going to attempt to eavesdrop, correct? All right. Now roll. Do you want to be unaware, or do you just want to kind of, like, you know, sit down on a bench and blend in?
Blend in, most likely.
Sure. So just roll a basic alertness check. See if you can kind of hear what they're talking about. 55 plus whatever your alertness is.
70, right?
Alertness is 50. Yes, 70. That's right. I said it right.
They seem to be talking about the weather at the moment.
30 days, huh?
They're talking about the crops that are going to be soon coming up, but then they also talk about how they kind of fear that the the harvest may not be as good, especially if the disturbances, mainly the goblins, draw in near, because they might tend to kind of, reap those crops. They might take them for their own, and there won't be any left for the people.
Did they mention anything suspicious about the weather?
The weather, not at all, and I know what you're thinking. Because in the intro video, there was the weather and the night to day.
That was magic.
Strangely enough, no one seems to have took notice to that.
Farmers must have been pissed once that happened.
That wasn't.
Oh, suddenly went from summer to winter. Oh, everything's ruined.
Well, yeah. So, no, they're just really fretted that their crops may not grow.
And now they're dehydrated.
They might not be able to harvest them and store for the winter.
Okay.
Well, that sucks for them.
And then they wouldn't get to have a moot.
Well, and if they had all those crops, Marcus can cook them in a great meal.
Hey, I didn't take it there for once.
There we go.
Listen, I love eating, so I'm pretty sure your character and mine in real life would get along. I'd be like, oh my god, this guy cooks the best food.
Question.
Well, I have cooking pots.
Because Marcus has extra culinary art skills,
Yeah.
is he able to take food that he finds while we're on our travels and turn it into rations?
Survival
randomly picking
to
up
find the
berries
food that's
and bashing
suitable.
a soup.
So if
You find
anyone,
the food and I'll put it in a cooking
yeah.
pot.
So basically, survival would be the equivalent of finding the food in nature that would be okay for you guys to use. So for example, like wild berries and mushrooms that are suitable, and small game that you can catch.
Small games?
So have we discovered all the information we want, or is there anything else we should do? Or should we start finding out where the goblins are to deal with them?
Where's the brothels? Wait, wrong character.
Whoops.
Wrong character.
Where's the goblins?
Well,
Where are the guys at?
they were mentioned to be up north. Let me check my notes. See if I have anything.
Holy notes, Batman.
Yeah.
I just saw a wall of text as he picked up his notebook.
Why are you always Robin?
Ah, yes. Also, too, you notice that the goblin activity seems to be just outside of Lansetown, which is a little bit away from the Timberlands.
We have to head over towards
So we need to
Lansetown.
cross on the ferry to the big city whose name I forgot. Then travel to
Morris.
Lansetown.
Homoris, then
Yeah.
Lansetown. So that's probably about like a week's travel.
Yeah.
Alright, we'll be
It's quite the distance.
Is there like another abbey that can hook us up with a few rations along the way, or are we gonna have to blow a few
There
silver?
was a place of worship that he mentioned.
Yeah,
Probably
we
should
made
It's like a
stop
little
there.
small local church,
Are they affiliated with our order?
Let's see. The Church of, what is it? The Belkin Church?
Yeah.
They're the main religious group in here. So most
Say
likely.
yes.
I'm going to say 99% chance yes.
My character.
Don't be in 100.
You don't need to roll for that.
I wanted to.